Hi guys, welcome back to the Cricket Diaries Podcast. We wasn't due to put anything out before the end of this Championship round one fixtures, but I'm sure, as people will know, there is a Sussex Hampshire sort of like bias in this podcast, and both of us are really happy and enjoying county cricket being back. It's the best, possibly the best start of the season ever. George is slightly more happier than me. How are you feeling, George?
Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you, Ben. I feel on top of the world. I know we're only a day and a half into the county season, but the fact that Hampshire are actually performing and, I don't think anyone else is matching Hampshire's performance at the moment. So, yeah, I'm appreciating Hampshire being on top of the tree for however short it lasts. You got to savour these moments. So I'm a very happy bunny.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously, I've got my Hampshire shirt, but I've got an England shirt because I've got a funny feeling. I put this on deliberately because I think that we might have. We couldn't get Ed Smith here for this podcast today, but I think we're already going to have our first England Test recall potential name, sort of like on that start of the year. But who are you shouting for being back into an England shirt now?
Well, I think there's only one man, isn't there? And people all know what I'm going to say. But Mr. James Vince, get him back in a Free Lions shirt pronto. There's no man who deserves to be in there more than him. Do you know what? This is the thing is I feel for everyone on this podcast, Ben, because we're only a day into the season and I'm already unbearable with James Vince paraphernalia and wanting to be back in the side. Let's just try and figure what it's going to be like in August when we're like 4 months into the season. I really don't envy any of you having to listen to me. But yeah, I think this is going to be, we'll speak about it a little bit later on, but this is a massive season for him. And I think he's going to prove a lot of doubters wrong. And I think they'll have no choice but to put him back in the squad. So it's only a matter of time now. And this innings he's on 200 already, then 220 odd, and he's not even done yet. And he's only just faced 200 balls now. He could go on forever today. I don't know how long he's going to go. So, yeah, this is a real big statement this season for James Vince, and this is the resurgence, I'm telling you.
So before we put on this podcast, what was he saying? How many runs do you think he'll be able to get today?
I said we're going to wind the clocks back to 2001, and you're going to see the new Brian Lara 501 with James Vince. A boy can dream, Ben. A boy can dream.
So, just to obviously give you sort of like a reason to blame me for this failure after lunch today. I've to look Hampshire's top score in first class cricket. Do you know what that is?
No, I used to know this in my old Badger days, but it's been a long winter, so please remind me.
316 by a Dick Moore versus Warwickshire at Dean Park, Bournemouth in 1937. So
lovely ground, Dean Park. Lovely ground.
We are less than 100 away.
It's happening. It's funny as well because I remember the last time Vincey did get to 200. I think he got it off like 400 balls and got like a 200 ball century at Taunton. I think it was like a really, really long innings, whereas this is just a complete opposite. Like an 81 ball 100. It was just unbelievable hitting.
It's absolutely great, and to be honest, there's been a load of runs across the championship, sort of like in the last day and a bit, really. And sort of like I, for one, sort of like quite surprised looking at the Sussex string, how good the wickets are. There's no green tops. I'm really confused. It's not raining. It's cold, but it's not raining, and there's runs being scored in the championship. What's happening?
It's crazy, isn't it? I think what gave me a lot of hope. Because also, as much as I am, Hampshire through and biased, I do like to keep an eye on the other fixtures like you do. And actually was looking at your game, the Lancashire Sussex game at Old Trafford. And I also think it was Kent as well. I think it might have been either Kent or Middlesex. One of them chose to bat. and also Sussex and Hampshire chose to bat after the toss, and were the only three sides in the whole county championship yesterday who, after winning the toss, chose to go and have a bat. And actually, I think, okay, Sussex were a little bit wobbly at the start, but then, apart from that, I think all those teams vindicated the decision to bat first. There are a lot of runs there. I know you're going to say it anyway, so I'll say it before, but I really enjoyed watching a bit of Tom Haynes' innings. And that looks like a lot of pitches are conducive to batting, which we're all used to going. We would normally all be there right now with our 3 layers of jumpers on, watching in the cold my grandma probably make me a couple of cold sandwiches and I'd be, shivering down the Aegeus Bowl or any ground wherever the cricket was being played. But actually, to see those runs produced, it's a really positive thing. And I think if that's what's happening now, what's the standard going to be like when they start to play it in the height of summer a little bit in the next few months? So, yeah, it's been a really good from a fan's perspective to see batting hasn't been diminished by the early months.
Definitely, and to be honest, I am so thankful for Tom Haynes. I think it's just having a look at 14 for 3. It seems to be new season, same old Sussex yesterday, and then going for 40 for 4. I was expecting this to be sort of like bowling by tea, having a deficit at the end of play after winning the toss and batting. And I've seen it before from Sussex. Although, to be honest, Tom Haynes kind of sort of like has shown that Gillespie wasn't wrong in sticking him and Salt at the top ahead of Luke Wells, who's not playing in this game but's gone to Lancashire. So actually, yeah, it's been quite an interesting start to the season. Really positive from both of our two sides. But I just love sort of like how much on sort of like all the social media groups, everybody's talking county cricket. It's the start of the season brings that sort of like that thrill of anything can happen. No, we've got, and especially this new format as well. So I personally think now that I didn't sort of like 40 for 4 yesterday, but actually why not? If Sussex can't get into the top 2 of their group, they won't do. They were finished last. They was last out of the 18 counties in the Bob Willis Trophy. Will probably be 18th again. But it's just that excitement that early season brings is fascinating, especially some of the stories. Have you seen the Kent score at all? You've seen they've got quite a young all-rounder, I believe, scored a few runs.
Oh, go on, enlighten me.
Darren Stevens, 100.
Oh, young chap. Is it just out of the academy, isn't he?
Yeah, just out of the academy. About 44, 116 not out. He finished. So, like again, it's the kind of stories that come from county cricket. It's fascinating. Already, I've seen people say Robinson to open for England. You're saying James Vince coming into the England squad. I'm going to say Ollie Robinson's got a couple of wickets this morning at Lancashire. So. Obviously, Jimmy Anderson obviously wants to be rested, feeling a bit old. Why not just rest him for the England Test team? Put Ollie Robinson in there.
Well, what I love is how everyone gets so confident watching their sides. But that's what we like, though. We like to see that banter and that sort of feeling. And you've always mentioned it a lot. Because I've always been really big England fan. I became a cricket fan through the 2005 Ashes and always seen things in the first 2 years of my cricketing life through an international spectrum. But once I've really rediscovered county cricket about 10 years ago and got into it, you realise there is, personally, I know you always say you prefer county cricket to international. I sort of separate the two, but I do think there is a feeling you get with county cricket that you don't get internationally, where I'm like, this really is my side because I'm actually connected to Hampshire. There's a reason why I support Hampshire. Like there's a reason why you support Sussex. I mean, you see your own boys who sort of come through the system there performing. There's a real sense of pride there. You can see it, like you said, you can see it on my face and talking about Vince. I can see it on your face and talking about Tom Haynes and Ollie Robinson. There is a real depth of pride and passion there. which I think is really endearing to county cricket, and a lot of people are seeing it now. What was great for me was I was following the BBC Cricket live text commentary yesterday, and BBC Cricket was trending on Twitter, and the amount of tweets and emails that were coming in saying, I'm relatively new to cricket, but love county cricket. It's amazing. And actually, sometimes in life, things happen for a reason, and there's funny things which happen. And in one sense, COVID is a great threat to cricket and county cricket and finances. I get all of that. But also, there's been a great positive with it, that it's actually given county cricket and counties the ability to live stream their matches. I'm watching Leicestershire, Hampshire, and we're getting an average of 2,500 people to up to like 10,000 people, which is a massive thing for county cricket. Some of the people watching a live stream are more than the average attendance at all our grounds coming at this time of year for a county championship match if we had people in person. So it really is something that is great to see. And I actually think county cricket's going to come out stronger from this because of that.
Yeah, I echo that. So sort of like, firstly, on sort of like the point of like belonging in your team, it's sort of like, I love the fact that this year Sussex is starting sort of like a rebuilding process. I'm just having a look down the 11 today. 6 of the 11 are Sussex, come from the Sussex Academy, worked their way through. You've got 3 others who's been at Sussex from a very early age as well. And actually, it's only really sort of like Van Zyl and Stuart Meeker who come in to bring out sort of like a little bit of experience out. Obviously, Travis Head to come through, but it's actually, you've got this sort of like good group of young players now to see where they go in 3 or 4 years. They're not the finished article. Some of these players will obviously go on and do really well, become county cricketers. Obviously, I guarantee that 1 or 2 of them will fall away over the next couple of years. But it'd be interesting to see sort of like that journey of sort of like how they're doing. And obviously, I think COVID, in a way, has been horrible for the traditional county cricket supporter, given the fact that we've not been out to the grounds. But just obviously the amount of sort of like work that's been done, say in the streaming services, and the amount of new people, young people, who would be going on to sort of like YouTube today, seeing the live streams up there, watching the games, which they wouldn't have had access to before, or wouldn't have, or even if it was there, they wouldn't have known about. So actually, it's really good, and surely it's going to be bringing in more supporters in future and more members. But also the other really impressive thing about COVID just shows how much members care for their counties. So Sussex alone, they've just released their figures, financial figures for last year. Had £163,000 was donated by members last year for either not getting refunds for their blast passes or membership, or just donating money to the club to keep the club going. Now, I don't know what other sport where a fan base is so behind sort of like the entity and the belonging of their clubs. Actually, they go away and give thousands, hundreds of thousands of pounds. Probably, after that's just one county over the 18, it would have been millions of pounds donated by supporters. I just can't see that in other sports. So, and obviously, club cricket would be the same. So, just that community, I think you get with county cricket, I absolutely love it. And to be honest, Sussex are doing well. But if I got as much joy watching and seeing James Vince's 200, then Sussex's Tom Haynes getting his 155 yesterday.
Wow. I think we might have to get that comment played on a loop. So whenever I'm down, I can just hear you saying that forever and ever and ever, because that's just made my day.
Yeah, it's just one of these things, and obviously we're going to wrap up shortly, I'm sure, because just looking at the scorecard, Dawson's approaching his century as well.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that George will want to have to be fully occupied on that. And obviously, I want to get back to Ollie Robinson. I'm putting him down for at least a 5. Actually, go 6 for today. 6 for today. Bowl Lancashire out for 200. Be about 80 odd for no loss at the close of play, I think. But yeah, what a great start of the season. That's all I can say, really. What a great start. I can't wait to get out the grounds, and hopefully, Vincey, we get that 3-1-6.
Exactly. Well, I think with Vincey, what's amazing is Vincey's chasing. He's going big, and Vincey is chasing something. Even if he gets 250 or whatever he gets, it's been a blinding innings. But to sit there and think, right, this is amazing. Dawson might be approaching the third century this innings because Tom Alsop, youngster, part-time wicketkeeper, he batted brilliantly and got a century because they moved Vince batting at 5 now, which shows they've really bolstered the batting and done something wildly different for Hampshire, and it's working. But I'm sat there thinking, this is amazing, Ben, but Mohammed Abbas hasn't even bowled one ball yet. And he's coming in to bowl for us in the next inning. So I'm just like, I actually think Hampshire are building like just a squad that I'm really excited about, and they are the dark horses of the county championship, and I'm saying it now. But I also, by saying that, I fully well know that give it 2 weeks, and Hampshire always start well. We've won our first game of the season for probably about 22 years running since I've been around, right? And then we always flunk. But it's the hope that kills you. So yeah, for the next 2 days, I'm going to be telling you that Hampshire are going to be dark horses and win the county champ. So just get ready for the unbearableness of that.
Yeah. A Sussex Hampshire Bob Willis Trophy final.
Yeah, imagine.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Hopefully, this will be the start of many happy podcasts throughout this English summer. And I'm going to steal a phrase from another podcast. Go well, and go well, Vince.
Come on, Vincey.